So when Angela and I started working together, that's quite a story. I was at the place
to rue the day.
No, not at all. When I was, I was at a place in my career where I just thought I'm just too overwhelmed with all the day-to-day things. I had to do all the compliance officer stuff, and I had to pay all the bills and do all the payroll and do the HR stuff, and my HR manual wasn't up to date, and it just was like, oh, this is just, Calgon,
and
take me away.
your job.
And I had to do my job, my main job, which was advising people at the same time. And so I just realized I need a COO. I just do. And so Ingrid and I determined we were going to hire a COO. And so we had in our mind, we're going to hire someone that's like gray hair, 55 years old, grizzled in wisdom, right? And so we got one of the guy that used to work for me, who I actually ended up, he was an employee and he did a lot of training and stuff for me. And I realized, we're holding you back. You should start your own business. I'll help you get started. I'll even pay you to get started and go look for clients. So he ended up going to do that, and he was doing trading for many, many firms. He was making a lot of money. And it was really fun to be
This is a really good example of somebody taking care of their employees.
Yeah, it was
like he lost a full-time employee.
Yeah, but it worked out because I got what I needed.
Yeah.
And still got what I needed. But more importantly, he got to grow, and he was making like 10 times what he was making before. And so he ended up having a client, one of his advisor clients, who you worked for.
Yes, a large firm in Walnut Creek, quadruple our size.
Yep. But terrible. And so, and so he walked by you. This was Jeff Gurnett. I could tell his name. He walked by you, right? How did that go?
He was my guy, for this trading and reconciliation software.
Oh, you work with them all the time?
All the time. So, back then, there were always issues with data downloads. I mean, it was just not right yet. Technologically, we didn't have it together. So I was on the phone with him every day, pretty much. And we got to know each other quite well over a couple of years. And one day he came and sat down next to me. And now my cube, we were all in cubes because no one got to have an office at this firm because the CEO needed to see what everybody was doing all the time. So that should give you a hint. His cube was right behind me. And so here comes Jeff. He plops down. He looks around the corner and he goes, I know a guy in Alamo who's looking for, kind of like what you do here, but I think it's a smaller firm, but I think it'd be a step up for you. What do you think? And I said, here's my resume. Have him call me. And I just, I was culturally struggling at the company that I was with. Just,
Leave it there.
Sure.
Leave it at that.
So, so I meet Rich. So I should have known this was Richard's personality. So we're emailing back and forth, and they're getting ready to go to Israel on a trip. And I say something like, hey, let's not rush this. Just we'll meet when you get back. And he says something like, I don't want to sit in suspended animation. Let's get together before I leave. That is the most Richard thing you've ever said to me. Now I know.
Yep.
Why would we wait?
Yep.
So we get together for lunch at a restaurant in downtown Alamo called Xenia, an Italian place. And I order a Caesar salad, which I ate zero of course. But, here's Richard and Ingrid talking about, I'm coming out of this place where I'm a little disillusioned with financial planning because I'm in a huge firm where no one knows their name. We're just sell more. And I'm like, this isn't fulfilling at all. And so Richard is sitting here telling a story about a client who passed away, and the children gave all of his assets to a Ponzi scheme, and he just thought like, I'm not doing a good enough job, and this is really a multi-generational kind of planning that we need to be doing. And doing right by the client, we talked a lot about that, and I just thought, now here's somebody that has a vision for how to do this right. And, talking with the next generation and making sure money and harmony stay intact from one generation to the next. This is the real stuff that real people care about. And I just couldn't believe I had spent so much time just closing and not caring, And I was just totally swept away by that vision. He had a place of possibility, and I was totally smitten with a place of possibility. I loved it. And he had just started the new logo and stuff, and I was so thrilled I could tell that he was going I would have autonomy in this role, and that I would get to do it the way I wanted to do it and not be micromanaged. And I was also really attracted to that